Yeah, it's like I said. Congratulations, Deanna. You won. You've won. You and Steve have won. Um, I'm going to lay down all my weapons and all my bad words and all my ugliness, my bad personality and the stench, and I'm always going to be the downer in the room. I'm always going to be the downer in the room, is what Deanna told me April 8th in 2021. Well, you're always going to be the downer in the room. Now, Deanna's always been this, oh, I'm so wonderful. I'm so popular. Everybody loves me. And it's true. You won. You get the family all to yourself. And I'm going to take care of things. And I'm just going to leave everything undone. And Angela, you get to come and clean it up. I'm not going to do anything to make it easier for you. I don't care. The whole thing can just, they can throw all my shit out on the street. Because I'm not going to take this anymore. I don't have anything going for me anyway. I'm not going to have a comfortable retirement. That jackass only left us $70,000, and that ain't a pot to piss in. You think I don't know that that's not going to accomplish that's not going to accomplish anything when I owe the IRS $30,000. Big flippin' deal. I don't care, and I don't care about money. It'd be nice to have a big fat chunk of money, but I mean, how much is a big chunk of money? What's a decent chunk of money look like? I don't have anything going for me. There's not going to be any millions of dollars show up on my front porch. I'm just going to keep getting old, and now that they've deserted me, there's nothing else. These are my goodbye videos. I don't want to do it. But you guys will find these videos, and they're going to be my last words. Because I've had enough. I'm done with this. I'm not going to live to be 80 years old and be deserted by my daughter. And I'm not going to have my daughter bossing me around. The thing about her coming over to visit me is that she's always bossing me around, and she's always micro-examining everything in my house, and she's always scolding me for not doing this and not doing that, and I don't keep up with things like she thinks I should, and I'm not, I have a little slip up here and there, and they don't want to, I can see it. And then she's going to bitch at me about how I manage my receipts, and I can't afford to get my teeth fixed. I got a real good dental plan, but they screwed me. I got this tooth up here that, well, I couldn't afford to get it needed a root canal, and I couldn't afford it to get it. The credit card they put me on didn't cover both of them, and so this tooth hurts real bad, and it's giving me headaches, and I can't afford to get it done, and I got other bad teeth. I don't have two incomes. It's just me supporting myself all alone, and my luxury in life is TV. That's it. I don't get to travel. I don't get to go on big fantastic shopping sprees. I don't get to buy new stuff. I always have to do thrift stores and maybe hope that they might have what I'm looking for in the right color, which they never do. And, I'm never going to amount to anything. I don't have anything going for me. And death is probably a long way off. I had a cigarette a little bit ago. I gave up smoking. Let's see, it was back in October. And I think it was back in October I quit smoking. But today I was so upset that I went ahead and lit one up. And I figured, what the hell? Next time I'm out, I'm going to get me a bottle of Jack Daniels. I don't like the taste of this stuff. I'm going to get me a bottle of Jack Daniels, and I'm going to start preparing. And I'm going to go buy a metal box and find some kind of a burlap bag. And I'm going to make sure it doesn't have any fingerprints on it, because I'm going to take it with a shovel and I'm going to go out somewhere and I'm going to bury that money. So that I'm going to bury that money that I'll be getting here pretty soon, 70 grand. I'm going to bury it and nobody's going to find it for probably another 50 years. Because I'm going to have that well thought out, and it's going to be just, nobody's going to find it for a long time. I got some places in mind where I can go do it, where I know nobody's going to see me. And the only way somebody's going to find it is if they put a new housing addition in. Because my daughter has chosen to leave me, abandon me. That's your choice. Over this stupid little thing with Janessa. And it's really broke my heart. I mean, I told myself a year ago that I broke my daughter's heart how many times. And I told myself, I don't want to break her heart ever again. I don't ever want to break her heart again. Because I've broken her heart too many times. I hurt Jesse. I hurt Jesse's feelings. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Jesse. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. I didn't know. I didn't know that what I said was going to hurt you. But I know that you're grieving your dad. So am I. You're grieving the loss of your dad, and so maybe your thinking isn't quite right. I don't know. I don't know you well enough to know that. Because like I told Angela, that when David died, people would tell me, sorry for your loss. That used to make me so mad. I used to get so mad when people said that to me. You know why? Because it's like this, you lose your phone. I lost my phone. Sorry for your loss. I lost my phone. Oh, I lost my hair clip. These are things that are easily recoverable. Oh, I lost the salt and pepper shakers. Oh, there they are. I hated when people said that. I didn't just lose my son. He's not coming back. I've been very angry about it for years. Along with so many other things. Yes, I'm a person who's full of a lot of anger. But I've realized that a lot of it, most of it stems from Deanna. And her domineering personality that I had to grow up with. A narcissist older sister, a demanding, domineering older sister. To where she always had me submitting to her. She always had me cowering because of, and I couldn't stand up for myself. Anytime I tried to stand up for myself, or anytime I tried to express my feelings about something, no, you're wrong, no. And that's how she would do me. If I expressed my feelings about something, no, you're wrong. I mean, that's a little bit traumatizing. So that a person doesn't know how to stand up for themselves. I didn't know how to stand up for myself. But now, I know how. And so since I stand up for myself and defend myself, I get bullied about it, you know. I get people decide to be shitty to me. I was going to show you that scripture again out of Matthew that I looked at earlier, Matthew chapter 5, verses 23. Remember that? Verses 23 and 24, is it? So if you are standing before the altar in the temple, offering a sacrifice to God, this is the Living Bible, very good version, translation. This is a translation. There's a difference between a translation and a version. So if you are standing before the altar in the temple, offering a sacrifice to God, and suddenly remember that a friend has something against you, leave your sacrifice there beside the altar and go and apologize and be reconciled to him, and then come and offer your sacrifice to God. Sorry, but I base a lot of my opinions on the Bible, because it's a really good book of principles. And that was under the law. And in fact, that was Jesus' own words in Matthew. So if you've got a problem with somebody, you need to go to that person and get it fixed, and then God will accept your sacrifice, whether it's a forgiveness sacrifice or a whatever it is. Whatever kind of sacrifice. Maybe you just had a newborn son and you have to offer a couple of doves. Whatever it is. Or whatever they would offer for a son or a daughter. So you've got to get that fixed. And so I came to the conclusion that if Jesse had a problem with me, then he needed to come to me about it. Because what good did it do for Janessa to bring it to Angela? What it is nothing but gossip. If Jesse had no way of hearing about it, and yeah, I'm going to keep talking about it. If Jesse had no way of knowing that Janessa told my daughter about it, and then my daughter had to convey it to me, so my daughter didn't have to tell me, but she did. And she had to figure out how to put the fire out, you know, how to discharge, how to diffuse my anger, especially after I found out that Jesse didn't even know that Janessa was telling my daughter. My daughter decided to tell me because she thought that I should be able, she didn't like it that I was posting online about her. I was posting online about Janessa. My daughter told me that I had swore that I would not bring Janessa into my pages on Facebook. I was very offended by this because they were gossiping about me. That would just mean that Jesse, Jennifer, Janessa, and Brent, and Janet probably, they were all over there conversing about this thing that I did to Jesse. That's what aggravated me. They were sitting over there gossiping about it. I don't put things past people. I mean, you don't know the whole situation, but I have found that a lot of times it's usually bigger than you thought it was. Once it gets down to the bare tacks, you find out that it was worse than you thought. And so it's this group of people who despise me now because I hurt their precious brother and brother-in-law. I hurt his feelings. So I was the bad person. So when my daughter tells me about it, I am very pissed off. And I go to thinking about it, and I think, well, I could apologize to him. Um, Maybe Janessa can apologize to him. And I told my daughter this, so my daughter conveyed that to Janessa, and Janessa writes back. I still have it on my phone. Janessa writes back that Jesse had no idea that she told Angela about it. And that just, that kind of spun my head around, like Linda Blair in The Exorcist. I always refer to moments like this as that. It's a demonic moment where your head's spinning all the way around like an owl and coming back to the forward position. So you mean you told my daughter this, and my daughter wasn't originally going to tell me, but then she decided to tell me, and she didn't what if she had not told me? What if Janessa had not told my daughter? Would it have mattered? Because then you got this verse here that if you've got a problem with your brother, this is mostly in the congregation, but it can apply in day-to-day life too, in regular life too, and in families. If you've got a problem with somebody, you take that problem to the person that offended you, and if they apologize, or if you apologize, I could have taken this issue to Jesse and apologized to him, but there was no way to do that. And I felt very jilted. I felt very deceived with that. Because, the table was it's like, wait a minute. I can't even apologize to him? Well, then why the hell did you tell my daughter? And the point also goes to my daughter. Why would you tell me that and then get pissed off at me because I got angry? I'm going to put it online because that's what I do. And it doesn't matter now. I can post all I want online because here pretty soon, and nobody's going to know when, I'm going to get me a big, I almost did this years ago. I went down to a railroad track, and I was carrying a bottle of, or maybe I wasn't carrying anything, but I was drunk. I was drunk on my ass. And I went, down in East Independence, I went down by railroad tracks, and I was going to lay on the railroad tracks because I was so upset about a situation. And I didn't do it, but in this particular situation, I'm a lot less afraid of it. And I'm just tired of it, and I don't see anything changing. My rent's just going to keep going up way too high, and I'm not going to be able to afford to buy a house. She's completely deserted me, and there's supposedly some kind of money that can come in from a government grant, but she said that we're going to put it off for a year, and we don't know how this Trump administration's going to work when it comes to getting federal grants. And so, the rent just keeps going up, and it gets harder to pay my rent. And now I got really good health, but I got all these headaches coming in all the time, which is probably from my teeth. I don't know. But who knows? It could be something else. Maybe it's a brain tumor. But reaches the point where you just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to take this anymore. And since I don't believe in heaven or hell anymore, it doesn't matter. And I've been really thinking about the other side lately. Ever since Jerry died, I've been thinking about what's on the other side. Maybe I'll be closer to being able to see my son. Because my son died with a whole lot of unanswered questions. I think that my time is spent with my daughter, and she's not going to come out of this. And I'm going to punish her because she has not been reasonable. And I have every right to get pissed. I have every right to post what I want on my Facebook accounts. I have every right to put what I want out there because people don't like me anyway. I mean, there's no redeeming it. There's no redemption for me. The family hates me. They always have because of Deanna. Deanna is number one, queen bee. Deanna was always the favorite kid. And me and Jerry were always the ones that didn't matter. Jan has always been sucking on Deanna's tit, sticking her nose up Deanna's ass. And I don't care, Jan, you tried to approach me on text and then you quit. You know, I never mattered to you. Just like Jerry never mattered to you. You're so fake. As soon as you got your dentures, boy, you just got your whole life back, didn't you? Well, that's not going to happen for me. And I'm going to leave a great big mess. And whoever is going to clean it up doesn't matter. It don't matter. Who knows, maybe I'll chicken out. All I got to do is go out there and lay on that couch that the kids gave me out in the garage. Just let the garage fill up with smoke. Let it fill up with fumes. And I'll make sure that my keys that I have outside are going to get moved. Because there's not going to be a rescuer. I won't allow that. See you in the next video.